everybody. It's the Biscuit Podcast.
Are you in?
For real with what? Am I on?
Yeah, you're fucking on. Why would I answer? Just to say hello and congratulations for having a baby?
You on the air?
Yeah, we're on the air. Aren't you listening? Fucking 99 Point Dick, Cock Vibes, the radio.
This is DJ Easy Dick coming at you from the Jack Off Hour.
I was just about to fucking call Professor Puck, Shane Guilfoyle. He was going to fucking take your place.
Now I got about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll call him after that then.
Game starts at 3. Mariah's feeding the baby. I got a loophole in the system, and I broke away.
All right. Well, since you're on, we're going to talk about Penguin series, the Biscuit. Now that's fucking radio at its finest. I literally just got this shit set up to record.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Nice.
So Game 5 is tonight, right?
Yeah, 3 o'clock, 10 minutes.
2-2. Game 1 was a 2-1 overtime thriller in Manila. Not a sellout, and no, that game. Game 1 was in Pittsburgh, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pittsburgh sells out.
Yeah, I'm thinking of fucking Ottawa. Fucking joke. Game 2. What happened there?
What was the game? Was Game 2 we won 1-0?
Yes.
Yes, that was. Still didn't play good at all. Still played their game 100% of the game.
I think Game 2 might have been the most boring game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, 1-0. Kessel notches it in the third.
Or is Game 1 the intent game? The intent to get Pittsburgh to win? Or is that Game 3?
The Game 1 is what you're talking about, where they
what
goal.
am I talking about here? Tell the Biscuit Babies what I'm talking about.
You're talking about a real rule for
Okay.
some reason that started in 2013, 2014 season. I think I could be wrong on the year. Might be the year before. When the referee is basically on the opposite side of the goal and can't see the other side, and he's coming in. And he sees that a goalie either has the puck or doesn't have the puck, and he has the intent to stop play. It basically is exactly what happened in that game.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here.
He couldn't see it. He was on the other side of the goal.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. There is a ref and 2 linesmen, correct? So there's 3 men on the ice.
Yeah.
That are there to watch the puck and watch the game and watch the players, right?
Yeah.
I've never heard of the fucking rule. I mean, it's a real rule, but that they have to get fucking rid of that, because that is some junior high shit. That is so fucking dumb.
I've been reading up on it a lot because I thought it was fucking really weird. At first, I thought they took the goal away because I thought the ref blew the whistle.
Live action, I thought he blew the whistle. I was like, oh, that's no goal.
I thought he blew the whistle. I said, wow, that was fucking super lucky. He was out of play. He thought Fleury had it, and he blew the whistle.
Then the replay,
the fact that he didn't blow the whistle is what's crazy.
The replay comes, and you see the puck cross, all clean. Then the whistle blows, and I was like, oh, well, that's for sure a goal. And the announcer's sitting there fucking saying, the intent to blow.
Sucking the rule off.
The intent to blow. Yeah, I was like, what is this fucking guy talking about? And then they came out and said no goal, and I said, that's fucking bizarre to me. I have seen that play before. The puck goes over. So what happens is the puck goes over the line, and then the whistle blows, which for my 30 years of life has always been a goal.
Yeah, unless it's fucking
any sport you play,
dumb happens.
You are supposed to go until the whistle. Period.
Yeah, since I was born, you're taught not to play the whistle.
You go 110 balls % until the fucking that whistle blows, and everything within those. If the ref doesn't blow the whistle in time, that's on him.
I've done some fucked up shit in football games just because the whistle hadn't blown. Like you just rock someone for fun. Yeah,
I don't think any of it counts when it's JV though. So.
But you know what I mean? Like you're always taught any level, high school, college, elementary.
For sure, I think it would intensify as you went up.
The first thing you do, I mean, as a coach, is play the whistle. Why aren't you playing the whistle?
I've seen fools get pulled out of games for not playing to the whistle. Like, oh, yeah, you took a millisecond off. You're not fucking playing the rest of the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Enjoy freezing your ass off on the sideline.
When the ref when the ref, or not the ref, whoever was covering for Mike Emmerich, who was that?
Dude, I don't know, but he fucking sucks.
I didn't like him at all. I'm glad Mike was back game 4.
I barely like Emmerich, and then I have to listen to fucking Emmerich's donkey show fucking going off.
I love Emmerich. He cracks me up.
But so you've had to look over and over at the goal because as a Penguins fan, you're very aware of what the rest of the league thinks is happening.
Oh, yeah.
So at least you can come into it with some knowledge, and it's been called, what, twice this season, January and February? Was it both against Nashville it happened?
It was you're right, it was this January. It was this January in Nashville. They got screwed out of a goal, and they're like columnist, the reporter for Nashville, wrote a piece of paper and an article, and it has the picture of the puck sitting behind the goalie, and the title is like "Goal or Not Goal."
Yeah, right. Like that's exactly what it boils down to. I'm sorry, ref, that you couldn't see it, but it
happened to Philadelphia around November. Happened to them.
Something.
So it's been going down all year.
Something's got to happen with that rule. So I think something has to happen. The refs seem very inconsistent from game to game to situation to situation. They got to get some kind of stability and flat line. And
did you watch Game 3 or 4? I'm sorry.
Oh, we can talk about Game 3 if you want to. The 5-1 ass shellacking.
Yeah, you know why that doesn't matter in a game like hockey?
Why?
Because the Oilers beat the Ducks 7-1.
Right. And San Jose beat Edmonton 7-0, 7-1.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you don't want to. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of games like that in these playoffs. I think we just mentioned the 3 of them.
Yeah, you got to be able to turn it on afterwards. Obviously, if the Penguins wouldn't have scored, I would have been real sad. But they scored in the third period.
Oh, they ended the game on the note that because we were in discussion during the game, and they did what they had to do to finish that game, at least get some kind of fucking confidence out of that game. Yeah,
you're the Pittsburgh Penguins. You score 3 goals in 3 games.
So Game 4 was Friday night?
Yeah.
3-2 victory for the Pens.
Yeah, they played the way they're supposed to play, and Ottawa didn't like it.
Who had the goals? Do you recall?
Yeah, Oily Mata was goal 1.
Oh, fuck yeah, he had a good game.
Crosby was goal 2, which was fucking awesome.
Didn't Oily Mata get the last goal too?
No, it was Dumoulin. We had two defensive scores.
That'll win you a game.
And Crosby's goal was awesome.
Game 4 was Murray's first start of the playoffs, correct?
Yeah, first start in a while.
Yeah, I guess it would be a first start in a while. But specifically to this...
Damn near a shutout through 2. They ended up putting 1 up.
He had to win that game, or some shit would have been real weird.
They wouldn't have went back to Fleury. They would have kept in Murray, and it just would have ended. That would have just been it.
You think? I think you'd almost have to. If you're gonna sail the ship on Fleury.
Sullivan must have walked into the press conference after the game with this fucking dick swinging. I mean, to pull Fleury with the way he was playing, just because he gave up 5 goals.
Right, but when you give up 5 goals like that, and you have a kid that's going to be the Penguin starter.
And you have Matt, exactly.
You can't afford to have those 5 goals. It's just not something that is in your cards.
He did it last year. He balanced them last year, and it's what won the Cup for us last year.
Okay, so yeah, absolutely, that's what won the Cup last year.
Him balancing that. I mean, the first game against the fucking Rangers, he starts Zatkoff.
Oh yeah, L.A. Reign Zatkoff.
Yeah, this year he's got Jari on the bench behind Fleury, who was a Scranton Penguin all year.
Like I said, I think if that game would have been lost, I don't imagine there's much a rift for those guys. I think Fleury understands, Like when Fleury came into the league and got his chance, that's what happens. And it's not like Fleury's only been there for 2 years. He's put in his time.
Fleury won that game in the last 2 minutes.
Fleury is the reason why they're at where they're at.
Absolutely. Shut out in Game 7 against the President's Cup.
I watched him stop a parade of biscuits against the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets had quality shots on goal. They just could not get a fucking puck by that man. He refused to let them score.
No, and like I said, Game 7 at Washington, you throw up a shutout and we win.
Oh, we have to address this while I have you on. Your prediction for tonight, though, is a win in Pittsburgh, right? It's got to be.
I'm hoping so, absolutely. I would never go against them.
It's in Pittsburgh, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so back in Pittsburgh, they get this game, take it 3-2, back to Ottawa, 3-3, and we're going to see a Game 7. I hope we see a Game 7. And what's more incredible about this is how Pittsburgh is playing with barely a team.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's not being said because of who is on the Penguins, but who they're playing without would cripple any other team in the league. Any other fucking team in the league.
All right, last Game 4, Schultz, Hornquist, and Brian Rust didn't play. The game before that, I'm pretty sure Dumoulin, Rust, Hornquist,
Daly,
and Daly didn't play. Yeah, Daly ended up playing Game 4, which helped.
Your number one defenseman hasn't played a game.
Yeah, Letang.
Yeah.
Hornquist is a beast. He's someone you need.
Hagelin's hurt, isn't he?
Brian Rust.
He's been in and out.
Hagelin finally played Game 4, but Lord knows if he's playing tonight. He's back and forth every game. Hornquist has been back and forth ever since the Blue Jackets series when he took that puck.
That's a lot of fucking. That's a lot of star power not playing for you. That's showing the system working.
Playing dudes that haven't played in the playoffs, like for instance,
at the biggest stage.
That rook they played Game 4.
Oh yeah.
And then they got Scott Wilson and these dudes who weren't even playing. Because, like, Hornquist
Did you hear Bartnick? Did you hear Bartnick's morning skate? Mr. Wilson! Mr. Wilson! Dude, I was fucking... He almost makes me not hate the Penguins.
Everything makes me not hate the Penguins.
So, Ottawa is without Alex Burrows tonight. I think that's going to be bad. That's not good. And Burwatsowicki, fucking... That guy's a chump anyhow. But you're going to see Chris Neal out there tonight.
Yeah, but I think Pittsburgh played Game 4 like they normally play hockey.
One of their best games of the series.
And whenever they're aggressive, it's just like, what do you even do? But I don't understand why they don't always play aggressive like that.
They're not an aggressive team. It's fine. There's aggressive teams. There's skilled teams. They fall along the line of if they have to get aggressive, they will. Yeah. You don't really want to get them to that point because it's either going to go really bad for you or you're going to barely win still.
Murray, like I said, I was saying earlier, won that game in the last 2 minutes. With 30 seconds left, we decided to get too many men on the ice, and they've already pulled the goalie, so you're running a 6-on-4. I
really don't want to like him, but he's good.
He's just ricocheting back-to-back Carlson fires at him.
Did you see the name commercial? No. Where the guys are spelling their names on the cup?
No.
It's fucking awesome, dude. It'll show like Y and he'll be like R-O-Y, and then it'll go to like Steve Yzerman and he'll like finish spelling Yzerman. The reason I mentioned that is, have you heard of the Game Changers series that they just started on Wednesday night?
No, I haven't.
So at this table, imagine this. You're watching TV. On the left is Sidney Crosby. Sitting next to him is Mario Lemieux. Sitting next to Mario is a young man named fucking Wayne Gretzky. Doc Emmerich. Bobby fucking Orr. And then Jonathan Toews. And they're just sitting there drinking coffee, talking about the Stanley Cup and why they were champions. And it's absolutely
Canadian club?
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because that sounds awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing. they talk about like how Bobby Orr is the best skater that ever lived, and he did it in dog shit skates. Wayne Gretzky talking about, I'm a champion. If I played today and I was 20, yeah, I'd still be really fucking good. And he was saying, if you want to go down in history as a good hockey player, you have to lift this cup. He says, I fully believe that to be considered a good hockey player, you have to be a champion. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I was like, he's directing that to one person.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope that someone translated it into Russian and fucking Ovechkin's like just crying.
What's Holtby? Is he Canadian?
Mm-hmm. He's Canadian as fuck. Did you ever see his hairy neck?
Yeah, I've listened to him talk. I figured he was, but sometimes I get some of them countries mixed up with Canada because they grow up playing hockey in Canada. Some of the Americans, have you ever heard Patrick Kane talk?
Yeah. But I gotta ask you, how does Jonathan Toews make that table? Because he has 3 cups, I guess?
I've been telling you this for years. He's the most not overrated player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's obviously really good, but dude, you're not in that top 5 table that you're sitting at.
No.
And they always
you can't have Patrick Kane on it because of all the fucking allegations of date rape over his head.
But they always put him at those tables just because Chicago has absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
But I think people forget how good those teams were.
Yeah. Recently, you've been stirring up a lot. I've been getting and having to deal with a lot of emails of hatred towards you, which surprises me because I say some outlandish shit, but I think I say it with I don't know, people just love me. I have half a Saskatchewan wants you dead because of the Don Cherry rant.
Oh my god.
And then there's people in Belleville mad because you have a sub named after you at a local pizza shop here. And you've lived in Michigan for how long now?
Almost 4 years.
I don't even think I ever have seen you eat the Big Rand smoking beef at Fast Eddie's.
I don't even think I ate it when I was there.
But the town is calling for a rename or a removal from the
See, I don't know. Madial was pumped.
Madial's a fucking moron, man. He thinks the earth is flat.
He also thinks it's the best sandwich, so I can't argue with him.
I think he was just stirring the fuck. He also said Jacqueline was one of the best cooks in Fast Ace history.
Yeah, that was fucked up. I couldn't even comment.
I said not even top 29, bud.
I was about to go into a rampage, and I just couldn't, so I just stopped.
It was probably best left alone. But anyway, the sub is a brisket. It's a brisket with peppers, onions, and fucking sauce. It's a nothing sub.
That's not how I originally made it. That's what drives me mad. The first time I made it, it had lettuce, tomato, and my own homemade horseradish sauce.
That's even worse. The name needs removed. If Pittsburgh loses to Ottawa, I'm going to bring it to Brenda's attention. The name is...
She ain't taking it off. It's like a fucking...
No one eats it.
Maker.
No one eats
Bullshit. You think that, then all of a sudden, all the workers hate it because when you make more than one of them, it drives you mad because it takes every container in the building.
You have to go to every station in the goddamn building to make that fucking sub. This is dog shit.
Portobello's, roasted red peppers, Swiss cheese, beef brisket. None of that shit's in the same refrigerator.
No. It's fucking retarded. It's fucking retarded.
Because when I made it, it was for me. It was for me to eat. So I took my time. I made it. It had some red onion on it. Like
the way it is now is too soggy, man. It fucks the whole hoagie up.
Pretty sure I put barbecue sauce on it when I made it. Not even lying. Brenda took a bite of it and was like, "That's really good." And I was like, "Yeah, I saw you had that brisket back there."
So, I received an email from the guys at Fourth Line Voice, the Southpaw Twitter, YouTube page. All like old fights from minors and major junior leagues. Really good YouTube. I suggest you guys go to it. But Darren emails. Just finished the podcast. Your brother's cherry rant was embarrassing. Laugh out loud. Only 6 teams back then. And I know what you're going to say to this first part. Only 6 teams back then, so lots of good players were stuck in the AHL. I'll let you comment on that first part.
Oh, so he's trying to defend Don Cherry for not being good at hockey.
Yeah. You still sucked. You didn't make the 6 teams. Sorry there wasn't. Sorry there.
If you're that fucking good at hockey, to think that you can say whatever you want about every person, because most of the time, he barely talks about the Penguins. He is a Ovechkin hater, and he always has been. Always, it's like a Russian hatred that comes out of that man's mouth. But to not make those 6 teams is more embarrassing than me. I don't sit here and say I'm the best hockey knowledge on earth. I love the sport. I love the Penguins. I love talking about every team and discussing all hockey knowledge. But Don Cherry thinks he is Barry Melrose, and he's not.
Oh, shit.
With his suits, his comments, he thinks he's fancy. Barry Melrose doesn't try to be fancy. It just naturally flows out of him.
Melrose has better hair for sure. And I continue.
And better suits.
He did
game, shoes.
He did play one NHL playoff game, but 15 years riding the bus and fighting at the time, of hockey, a poser, ? Come on now. And he did win NHL Coach of the Year. Also, his wife is American, so he probably doesn't hate Americans. Laugh out loud. And then we go on to email back and forth about how Bonino's the biggest bitch in the league. But,
Bonino's not the biggest bitch in the league, for one.
Top 5.
All right.
You can't defend him. Bonino is...
I'm not going to defend him. So, because he was voted AHL's Coach of the Year.
No, he was NHL he won a Jack Adams.
No, he won the American Hockey League, Rochester Americans Coach of the Year.
He didn't win a Jack Adams in Boston?
I'm pretty sure no.
I don't know, man. Either way, it's like saying to us, like, fuck Tom Brady. I'm not a goddamn Patriots fan, but you don't talk about Tom Brady.
No, he's an American hero.
Don Cherry's the same way, except Tom Brady's a champion. Except Tom Brady's a champion.
Because he was a Hershey Bear? He's your guys' fucking legend?
He played in fucking Hershey. He played in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and he's the fucking...
Who was a fucking Hershey
He's
Bear.
the fucking face of Canadian hockey. Don Cherry and his fucking...
You guys are gonna drive me nuts. You fucking Hershey Bear. I'm sorry that I offended your Hershey Bear comment. I get it. It's Don Cherry. Obviously, he knows more about hockey than me. I'm 28 years old.
That's not even the best Hershey Bear. Scott Parker played for the Hershey Bears. He's not even the toughest guy that played at Hershey.
I mean, how cool can you be when your nickname is Grapes? Why is he... He's a Canadian icon. I get it.
Do you get it?
I get it, but it's just... For me, what has he done that's so awesome?
Been on TSN for fucking 30 years, I guess. The best thing he ever did was a fucking interview with fucking Bob Probert, and it's fucking sick. That is a sick video. Find that and put that up on the Facebook, guys. Or you. Specifically you, because you run the Facebook.
I mean, he won an AHL Coach of the Year.
I did too. I'm not fucking impressed with all the AHL Coach of the Year means is you're getting a better job.
So he took over the Bruins after they just won 2 cups.
Did he take over after Bobby left?
And no longer had Bobby Orr. So he did take over in a rough error. And he did win Jack Adams.
See? He did win a Jack Adams.
1976.
So,
Okay. That's fine.
You should probably go down the list of Jack Adams winners and see how many dickheads are on that list.
Yeah, exactly. But, hey, he won I didn't say he didn't know anything about hockey. When I said he was a poser, it was about playing the game.
Hey, man, talking about Don Cherry is like asking the Canadian to pick up a gun and go fight for his country, man. You just can't get it, It's not happening.
And after saying that, I feel like I'm still the one that's going to be hated after this conversation. And
of course.
You just made fun of an entire culture.
I eat all dressed chips and drink Labatt Blue, dude. I'm fucking practically Canadian.
I mean, I drink Molson's.
They don't like Molson's, dude. Molson's is tragically hip up there, dude.
I drink Canadian water.
Before I let you go, the thoughts on Getzlav's $10,000 fine for saying cocksucker in a hockey game. Because that's where I'm going to pick up after I let you go.
Well, it's kind of like, what's his name from the Blackhawks a couple years ago?
No, he said fag to a ref. He said, you're a fucking fag. That's not saying, dude, you're...
for that either.
That's just saying you're a cocksucker.
Yeah, but it's like the same thing. They're getting mad because people are saying derogatory homosexual terms, and they don't mean it that way. They're not homo bashers. Dude,
I've had my dick sucked, never by a dude. There are plenty of women that are cocksuckers.
It's not a homo bashing word. He's pissed off.
Yeah, they're playing hockey. You get mad.
$10,000 for saying something like that's just fucking outrageous.
The fucking Shaw got a game off.
And then, speaking of that series, is what Nashville's doing one of the most impressive runs, like, in a long time?
Yes.
The Blues in 8th seed last year?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was pretty impressive by them, too.
I mean, in our lifetime, for sure. And the reason it's going kind of like... The only real hype behind it is like the hipster hockey part of the world. Because it is in Nashville, but what they're doing is very impressive. I mean, they haven't beat the Ducks yet, but I mean...
They've yet to have home ice. Everything they've done has been on the road. If they can win the Cup, it would be absolutely crazy.
But how many people had them at the beginning of the year winning the Cup? A lot of people. People fell cold on them at some point, and then they're a good hockey team. There's no question that Pekka Rinne is an elite goalie. I think not. I mean, they won without Ryan Johansson. I didn't think they'd do that.
No.
The Ducks are more of an old school team to me. I'm not surprised that they might not win this series. I'm surprised the Ducks made it as far as they have, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean it's crazy impressive. But yeah, I'll let you go, Big Ran. Thanks for calling in and joining us. Enjoy the new baby, and we'll talk to you. Well, we might have a surprise for everybody next weekend.
Yeah.
All right, love you, buddy.
All right, love you.
Bye. Okay, I'm on the line with the one and only Professor Puck, Shane Guilfoyle, History of Hockey Podcast. For those about to talk, how are you, sir?
Doing great. Yourself?
Can I be honest with you?
Absolutely, you can be honest with
I'm
me.
in a lot of pain, Shane. My back hurts really bad. I'm pretty sure the Penguins are going to win tonight. Nashville's playing really good. I'm not doing so well. But I'm happy.
Yes to all of those things.
I'm better now that we're podcasting. Reason I called you here so late is Big Ran actually had 10 minutes of freedom and called in real quick. So he got to keep his job. I will be giving you his payroll for this week, though. Are you there? Gil. Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Shit, something fucking weird happened there. What I was saying is, reason I called you here a little late is Big Ran actually joined the podcast for about 10 minutes there. He got a little period of free time. But I will be giving you his payroll for this week, so...
Outstanding.
It turns out to be about 3 beers and a slice of pizza, so it's not too bad.
Okay, well, I like both of those things, so I'm in.
And free massage from our sponsor to be announced here very, very shortly. I'm very, very excited about it, but we'll get into that later. Where I just finished with him, Shane, is the word cocksucker and its use in a hockey game.
Of course.
So, Mr. Getzlav, captain, Ducks, has been fined a decent amount of money. I mean, $10,000 no matter who you are is that's a bummer. For
what
what I've read and what I've been told, he said cocksucker to himself on the bench or yelled cocksucker over. I'm not exactly sure, but that seems to be the word going around that that's what he said.
Okay, so cocksucker it is then.
Yeah, exactly. And what we had just corresponded earlier that I guess dudes are the only people that can suck dicks now.
Yeah, apparently that is no longer an acceptable thing for a female to do.
Why the hell did I get married?
Exactly. I've asked myself that numerous times for unrelated reasons, but now I've really got now I'm really in a pickle.
I'm fucking completely shocked. Well, no, I'm not completely shocked that at the outrage on Twitter and some of the, the women from the NWHL speaking out about it, but come on, guys.
I didn't realize that the NWHL had people out about it.
But I follow Harrison Brown. She is or he. Oh, this is fucking gonna be hard. I'm not gonna do this right, but he was a girl, but identifies, and he is the first transgender athlete, to my knowledge. But you can play in the NWHL still as long as your testosterone levels are at a certain point, I think. But
yeah, they've got a whole set of criteria that they impose to people claiming they identify as one thing, or but yeah, you're right. But yeah, they can do that. They've got rules in place for that to happen.
So that's neither here nor there. But he tweeted out. So this is the guy from the Women's Hockey League. There's no place in sports for this kind of language, or in life, or some. I'm not directly quoting, and I had just written back to him saying, "So is all the trash talk in the NWHL rated G, or is it just simply that people say crazy shit in the heat of what people say a hockey game is a battle? It's not, but I mean, it's competitive. Shit is said, and it's not Ryan Getzlaf saying I hate homosexuals. It's saying, dude, you're acting like a piece of shit, and I have chose to call you a cocksucker instead of a piece of shit."
Yeah. I don't know that there was any. I don't know the man, but I sincerely doubt that there was any malice toward homosexuals in that comment, because
even if you thought that way, Shane, why you wouldn't just say that to bring the attention to yourself when you are a captain of a hockey team? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and especially in the town in which that's located, pretty liberal area. He's got to know that. He's not just.
Are you saying Anaheim? Anaheim is the home of fags?
Say that?
No, I'm not saying it again, but it was bad. It was bad.
Kind of bad connection. It was bad. Better I didn't hear it. But no, the whole thing is kind of silly. I get that. People are mad, but God, not going to be pleased with everything that everybody says.
You sure aren't.
And that was a good question that you posed to Mr. Brown there of who does he play for? The Buttes?
Yeah, the Isabel 2000.
Now.
What's that?
Did he retire? I think he retired. Anyway.
He just won a cup. I don't think he retired, did he?
I'd have to check on that. I thought maybe he did. I could think of somebody else. I feel like the NWHL has a surprising amount of turnover. It's like,
oh, I'm sure.
And then they retire, but
I'm sure it's not easy for them to live a normal life and take off the 12 weeks or whatever it is the season lasts.
for practically no money.
Yeah, I mean, for nothing.
I think that was a good question that you posed to Harrison. But I have been to. Number one, I've watched the NWHL. I've watched their games. I've been to women's hockey games, both intramural, college. I played with girls. I was thinking a lot of editing on your end, but no. What I said is that I seen the NWHL games. I've seen women's college. I have played with girls intramural, and they are just.
They can be some nasty motherfuckers.
And I don't know if that's. They fish out of water. There are only a sea of guys. They feel like they've got to step it up even more so just to be. And I mean, that could be part of the issue, but I mean, it's not like they're all princesses. I mean, like those girls are nasty.
Oh yeah.
The other guy.
Shane, your connection is shit, man.
The girls in hockey.
All right, Shane's connection was crazy. I had to let him go. I don't like doing these things. These are executive decisions that I have to make. I want the Ducks to win. # win it for Bull. Game 1 was a 3-2. Preds win in overtime in Anaheim. Like he said, they've been on the road winning these games. 5-3 win by the Ducks in Game 2. 2-1 victory. That was first game in Nashville, where the Nashville Tennessee Titans players were chugging fucking 24 ounces, dude. I think I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty stoked on that. That was pretty awesome. The Ducks win Game 4. 3-2 in OT. So 2 OT games out of the 5. And Nashville went and won last night 3-1 with an empty net goal. A lot of the talk's been about Kessler and Johansson. They don't like each other. People talking shit about people's families. Johansson is now hurt with some kind of syndrome where he may lose his life or his leg. So biscuit thoughts go out to that guy. We don't wish that any kind of ill will on anybody. The other big story is Nashville's national anthem singer, and if you guys want to hear a better take on this, listen to the Barstool Spittin' Chicklets, because they had me rolling talking about this. He was complaining to the team that they don't have him sing in the playoffs because they get these giant like country music stars because they are in Nashville. Dude, be happy you had a job. You probably don't now because you fucked up, but make sure you go listen to the latest episode of Spittin' Chicklets, because it's fucking ridiculous. There's just a few things I wanted to bring up to you guys before we get going. I know I got to get going. I want to go watch this game. But Scott Darling signed a 4-year deal, $4.15 million per season, which is low, but he's never started, so we'll see what happens. He came out and said his goal was always to sign in Carolina, so it was a no-brainer once they figured out the contract. I think that speaks highly of him for a team getting him out of his backup situation in Chicago. So the 6'6", 28-year-old, 6th-round pick of 2007, coming off the best year he's ever had with a .924 save percentage, 2 shutouts. I'm excited. If I'm a Carolina fan, I'm getting real excited. He hasn't played a lot of games, 16-17 season, 32 games, 27 starts, but 18 wins. So they're on the up and up. Watch out for Carolina. The other goalie signing is 30-year-old Ben Bishop, the old tall bastard. And he gets traded to Dallas from LA. Dallas already saying that they didn't want him, they wanted Darling, but Darling signed in Carolina. Vegas didn't want Bishop because they want to go younger. Bishop's coming up on his 9th season, his 5th team. His wins have been on a downfall since 2014. Sorry, Dallas. You just got fucked over for $29 million for 6 years. Suckers. Speaking of Las Vegas, they signed that Russian fuck Shipachkov from the KHL, 76 points in 50 games and 13 points in the International Ice Hockey Federation Championships that Russia ended up finishing 3rd. He's going to be Las Vegas' best player. Who cares? And then Vegas added the Chicago Wolves, formerly the St. Louis Blues minor league team, their AHL team for their affiliate there. So, that's Las Vegas Gambit's news. Wanted to get you guys caught up on the minor leagues here. The AHL Calder Cup race is down to the semifinals. You have Syracuse up 1-0 over the Providence Bruins and PK Subban's brother. Grand Rapids is up 1-0 on the San Jose Barracuda, which is good news for my wife and Detroit Red Wings fans because that means they got some talent coming. Worked out for Columbus, so we'll see what happens there. Down in the ECHL, Kelly Cup, rest in peace, sweet Toledo Walleye, going down 4-1 to the Colorado Eagles, who are a bad motherfucker. And they await the winner of Game 7 of the Manchester Monarchs and the South Carolina Stingrays. And the weirdest tournament in all sports, the Memorial Cup. So how the Memorial Cup works is the winner of the OHL tournament, the winner of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League tournament, and the winner of the Western Hockey League tournament go to, say this year, Windsor, where the host of that city gets in the tournament as well. So that would be the Windsor Spitfires. They all play a round-robin tournament, and then the 2 best teams out of that end up playing each other for the Memorial Cup to decide who is the Memorial Cup champion. Your 4 teams are the Seattle Thunderbirds, the Windsor Spitfires, the Erie Otters, who have a stud by the name of Strome, who is a Coyote. Coyotes are coming up. Him and Chikrin are going to make some noise. And the Ekman Larsons. And the St. John Sea Dogs. Guys, I'm going to go. I want to watch hockey. I love you. The biscuits are done. Bye, you cocksuckers.